All right, so we are live on OpenExO's YouTube channel. You know it's your favorite channel for especially weekend catch up. So definitely like it, subscribe it. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, I think, right, Kevin? That would be great if it ever. It's pretty slow going, but we don't. It'll be fun if we ever get there. So share it, like it, subscribe to it, and that way you can get the notifications, especially from all of the awesome live shows that Kevin's been doing lately. So we have a special guest today, Pratik Bijam. Pratik, welcome. You have a project that you're going to be presenting today, and we're looking very much forward to that. We love it when the community shows up and presents their projects. I hope you have a proposal matching the project in Sway. If you do, please be sure and share the links, and we will propagate those links out around different places throughout the community as well. In addition to that, let's see, my name's Kent. I am sort of the architect of the EXO Economy, and just here really for this meeting, facilitating and making sure that every member of the community who has a stake in, which is all of you, by the way, and who wants to participate and help grow and move the EXO economy forward, has this place every week where they can come to talk about what they found, what they've experienced, what they need, and move the EXO economy forward. The big news right now for the EXO economy, if you wish, is that we are all pushing very, very hard to get the EXOS token effectively public. This means moving things forward into DeFi. You'll hear some project updates today. This also means beginning and doing the necessary research, paperwork, and saving our pennies to find a path to centralized exchanges. I think this is the biggest thing that we could now do as economy. We're very ready as a global community to do this. It will take everybody to get it done and to get it done right. So if you hear this and you're thinking, gosh, why isn't that EXO token on public exchanges? Well, think no more. Now is the time. Let us know if you want to help. It's time to make it happen. It's really hard. It's a lot of work. So it's going to take a lot of effort to get us there. That's pretty much one of the most important things we can do as a community moving forward. So hold that hope, help us do it, and we will get there. So let's get on with it. Pratik, I'm going to hand over to you. You have a 15-minute time slot today. I suggest you take the first 7 to 10 minutes or so, give your presentation the way that you see fit, and save a little bit of time at the end to ask for any input or questions. You may get both, but most of the time we all need to make sure that we're putting our feedback for Pratik into Sway so that he can have that, work on it, modify his proposals he sees fit. And who knows, sometimes these things come in and they're just absolute zingers and they get all the votes immediately. Sometimes they take a little bit more work to get the proposals modified, but that's how it works. And that's what happens when you work together with the community. So Pratik, without any further ado, it's all your floor. Please take it away and tell us what you got.
Definitely. Thank you, Ben. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, everybody, for having me here. Very excited. Definitely got a jerk inside when you said we are going live. But yeah, let's tell the world about what we are doing here. So, Yenna, Yenna means gift of healing. That is why I have chosen the name Yenna Tech. And we are going with the slogan changing states of mind because I really want people to start thinking differently and, start applying things differently, start, just not follow the same pattern over and over again because it gets dubious. And I'll start sharing my screen and take you forward with my presentation. Just give me a second. I'm not so great with technology sometimes. Perfect. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we do.
So we go with the slogan, changing states of mind, like I said, and what we believe is a true artist is not someone who is inspired, but someone who is who is inspiring others. Salvador Dali also said that, and I very much believe in that. Second that. And what does our company Yana do? We redefine capital incentive real estate investments into revenue generating real estate assets. We help them raise capital. We also have a parallel agenda of United Nations Sustainable Development Goal of zero poverty. Things that I would like to talk about. First, before we go into the solution, I want to highlight that no matter which option within the industry we choose, there is definitely going to be a potential loss of what we are missing out while we are not choosing the different options. And apart from that, when we look at real estate industry, the two ways of raising capital that currently exist is high risk collateral based lending through banks or financial institutions, or private equity through real estate or private equity through venture capitalists. So these are the two types that they follow. And of course, because of these two reasons and not being able to accept retail investments, the growth is not so favorable as we see in different industries, which is why we are accumulated to 10% of the total habitable land, whereas 43% is habitable. Going further, what is the solution that we offer? My solution is something very similar to what EXO offers, that is digitize, demonetize, democratize, and disrupt. We digitize these assets by securitizing them with SEC FINRA partners and then saving them with a custodian to ensure that the asset is protected and investment money is protected. We demonetize by listing these assets into share and by accepting several different means of transaction, fiat and crypto. Our economy Yana token is how we democratize this whole system. Yana token is a security token which is built on Hedera hashgraph, and it's a payment means of transaction like any other, but it has a fixed supply, and it works only for the purpose of eliminating poverty and making my investors rich. And this is how we do it. There is a total supply of 300 billion tokens, which is divided into three parts: one for end users, one for the team, and one for the investors. And we disrupt the market in such a fashion where any system we go forward with, we build it in a certain engagement program, which I will discuss going further. This is the exclusive engagement program, which we think will work forward in eliminating poverty. And how does the whole system work? Before we go into the disruption model, let's come back and see how does our process work. On our system, what happens is any asset that signs up goes through a third-party verification or Yana verification, then gets referred to a securitization partner after they have become eligible. Once they are eligible, we fix a deal about how much percentage of securitization that they want to go for, and then make the deal and fix the document with the custodian. The custodian is told that any end user, which is a member of Yana, comes back with 100% shares of any asset, the asset document would go to such person, or the ownership would go back to such person. And after securing such a deal, we'll list the product in the market. And once we have raised the eligible amount that the asset is trying to raise, and if still there is more demand, then we shift the asset to the trading mechanism. Right after this, I will share a few screens and show you how it works. Apologies for the sound. I cannot keep my kittens quiet. Apart from that, how are the assets mapped? So these assets are divided into two types of categories. One is individual businesses. Second is rental pools. Now, how are we going forward, or what is our go-to-market strategy with this? What we are looking forward is we are looking for high net worth asset around the globe, which could be mining farms, agriculture farms, hospitals, or even real estate malls or retreats. We choose such kind of a high net worth asset within a region and then target the daily, long-term, and monthly rental pools, like rental assets which come within those region, and create a pool as per zip codes. And this is how we map the whole world with individual businesses and rental pools as per zip codes, where the assets are tokenized in different tranches, because real estate is an industry where after the asset is tokenized and a certain amount of fund is raised, there is certain type of development takes place in different business. From business to business, it could be renovation or foundation, and this is what brings in valuation to a business. And once it is reevaluated, the valuation is higher, the next tranche could be much more greater, which is exactly how it makes the difference in tokenization of real estate assets. And what we charge is, once the asset is listed in the market, for the first initial fundraise, we charge 1.5% of the success fee. And going forward, once the asset is listed into the trading market, we charge $0.1 to $0.0001, depending upon the number of trades that our end users make. And for holding these assets, they also get dividends. And of these dividends, which are being paid out to them over a 6-month basis or a yearly basis, we take 5% commission. Now, what are the benefits of this? Of course, because of digitization, real estate becomes market of abundance. Thanks to Hedera, we have low transaction fees, and we can offer easy liquidity into assets. Now people can even invest $1 into different assets around the globe. Asset owners not just get easy capital, but they maintain control, and that is what they do best. And end users, traders, and investors, all within the same category. Of course, investors with more tokens, but receive rewards and lottery programs. And these are the rewards that I'm talking about. 30% of the economy of Vienna is fixed for eliminating poverty, which is 100 billion tokens. Why 100 billion tokens? That's a very good question. Why 100 billion tokens? Because we have about 8 billion end users, which might approximately reach a population of 10 billion, but post which it will start declining as per the census. So we have kept 10 tokens each for every end user, and we are stating that they are redeemable once they reach 3,000 USD each. And that is how we plan to give 30,000 USD for 10 tokens to every end user. But there is a twist to it. We also have a lottery program, but where every end user is able to, let's say, give 1 token and participate in the lottery program, follow the engagement, and gain lotteries. Like, for instance, I would like to share one screen. This is how a dashboard at Vienna would look like, and anybody logging in would see different number of assets that they have invested in, total number of shares, total investment, profit that they are expecting. Again, more details about the asset. But the interesting part is this: 100 billion tokens are kept aside to follow this pattern, where at this moment we are offering 1 token for creating account, completing KYC, 2 tokens for that, and then following us at different programs and channels, and then the lottery ticket. But my idea is where I would also want to gain some partners, where I'm promoting certain businesses, and end users get token for following those businesses as well. And this is how we faucet these 10 tokens to end users, stating that they are redeemable when they reach 3,000 USD. Now, only 1 token is something that they claim for lottery ticket, and this is decided randomly among all the end users who have posted about us on social media and completed all the engagement program. And as we raise capitals for asset, we will keep 30% of the pool aside for these lotteries and randomly associate to end users. This is kind of a way we are inviting end users to participate in our system. Of this $3,000 lottery that we are giving them, they are able to retain 20% as cash that they want a bite of at any different portal and retain, whereas remaining 80% is something they have to invest in an asset and then sell it over again if they want the cash. Going back to
We'll have to start getting to the end
Slides.
critique.
I'm sorry.
We need to start to wrap.
I missed you on that. I'll wrap it up in a moment. So this is our total addressable market, where the total land available is more than $200 trillion, of which $162 trillion is residential assets and $29 trillion is commercial assets. And this is accumulated on 10% of all the land that is around the globe, of which 43% is habitable and only 1% is digitized yet on blockchain or digital networks. These are different kinds of exchanges that is there in the market, where we are among the newest. This is me and my founder and co-founder, who is helping me with technology and taking care of the backend. Our partners, Mainstage Incubator, Blockchain Lawyer, and Untitled Arts. Mainstage Incubator mainly helps us with ideation and thinking forward. Blockchain Lawyer in legal counsel, and Untitled Arts for design. And this is my fund utilization, where I will actually send this sheet across to you guys, where you see this is only the different salaries and legal expenses that we need. I'm a minimalistic, that is why the cost are so less. Money, like any other, is just value, and it could be derived from any other, which is why if you see the expenses are so limited and can be achieved within that much cost. I would stop.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So how long have you been a member of the OpenExO community, Pratik?
For about 2 months now.
Awesome. And what, how is this project going to intersect with the EXO economy and EXOS?
Right now, my team, like I started this 1 year ago. We started this with travel industry first. Wanted to rate ecotourism cities, and then shifted to real estate, because the idea was mainly into real estate, and incubators pushed us forward, and we came up with this design. And with EXO Economy mainly, so there are only 3 members in the team. One is the design company, who is still doing pro bono, and the backend developer. I need more players in the team. Like, I can send you an organization chart, which we have developed. And in that chart, we would like to take or seek help from members of EXO community who knows the skill set and contribute to us in terms of taking this forward. Like, technology is covered. However, I don't have anybody for, not many people for branding and design. I don't have many advisors for strategy forward. Very limited cost-based resources. If you see my numbers also, they are based as per 2018 data. I don't have the feasibility of buying 2021, so not been able to get those data. So this is where the limitation of real-time data is, where EXO community has helped me very much forward, not just in validation. 2 months ago, when I was shifting my business from travel to real estate, and this is something that I showed you, is something that we have developed within 2 months of time, and building forward. So even my even the engagement program that I have derived is something based on EXO model of 10,000 EXOs. Like that engagement, and that process is completely exponential. Like, I believe in it.
Got it.
That's exactly why we want to try it. So
awesome. One more question for me, and then I'll ask if anybody else has any. Where are you based? Where's your organization operating from? If anybody.
The organization is based in India. Like, I'm in India right now, in Goa, but it is based in Hyderabad and UK. Offices are registered there. Apart from that, we have 2 open partners. One is from the Economic Planning Division of Grantham, Ontario. It's a government committee who are willing to offer us some banking partners and against incubation. And there is another committee, another ecosystem partner in Switzerland. We are working with them as of now to develop a partnership. We have back-to-back calls, but we want to develop a proposition first, then go off with a deal or something. So awesome. We have things coming forward. What will be really helpful? Just one thing to add. Sorry to interrupt. That EXO community will actually help me not just like I would need advisors mainly of 4 different domains for real estate, algorithms, tech-wise also, to get a validation again with what I'm doing to make sure I'm ready for the market.
Got it. Thank you. Who else has any questions, comments, or feedback for Pratik? Raise your hand if you do.
Yeah, Fatek, this is Cesar here. So my question is straightforward. How the project can contribute to the EXO economy?
Like we can reach the MVP stage, or even complete a basic MVP and start marketing, discussing with community, because the whole engagement program that we need to do is mainly because I want to eliminate poverty, because I want people to be focused on those 9 factors of sustainability which are responsible for us to complete within this decade of time. And this is how we are going to start the engagement forward, where EXO partners will help us, not just in talking about that, but we providing support to end users through different through this program could be helpful. And like how, for instance, how Fabrizio sir did it for Experience Plus, where he has gone for certain speakers. He has also worked on devising a whole strategy of 1 day, 2 day event for the launch that is going forward. So what you do is, you get experts, you make a plan with them, talk about their businesses, your businesses, which is going forward to make this happen, where we engage end users.
Okay, so you'll potentially be using the marketplace, posting opportunities, things like that. Would be interesting to see about ways that EXOS can be used as well as it progresses and goes on. Perhaps we can have that conversation offline. Being conscious of time today and want to get into everybody's project updates. Kevin, you had a question or comment?
Actually, it's just a comment. Pratik, I see that you have posted a proposal in Sway. I have put that link in the chat here, but I do see that under the budget question, you've got a Google Doc there, sheet, but it's private. So if you can make that public, so it's just a comment about that, so we can actually see that, because my question really, I think what's in that sheet answers it, which is how you look to use the EXOS. Just in terms of time, I don't think we have time to discuss it. I'll ask that question on the Sway proposal. But if you can make that that sheet public, it probably has the information in it. That's
all right.
That's
thank you. Great presentation, Pratik. Thank you very much. We got the Zoom clap. Really appreciate your time and doing that today. I'm sure you'll get some feedback. I have more questions myself, but I'll save them for Sway. All right, let's do this. Let's get project updates going. We will today go with Najib, Eric, Nikki, Lisa, Kevin, Cesar.
Yeah, everyone, hello. My update today is quite quick. As everyone knows, we are progressing a lot into the gateway to wrap EXOS into Ethereum. We at this stage are testing the contracts on the Robston blockchain. We finally were able to get a lot of, I would say, Ether on that testnet. It was something that it has been quite, for this day, quite hard because some of the faucets are not working, many of them. But we finally were able to do it because we are just doing the feed testings. How much is going to be the most efficient part, just to do the deployments and when we are minting and when we are burning tokens. That is very fundamental for what we are doing. And now we are putting all the pieces together. I think we have all the puzzle in different pieces, and we are putting all of them together. What I mean with that is the parts that are on the wallet, that is the entry point for everyone to enter to the process to the liquidity, meaning going to the WXOs. That's one part. Connecting to the backend, be sure that we are able to minimize the impact of, or give the opportunity to many people as possible, and not just to one person putting all the tokens through the gateway. That's one of the challenges in this work. And the next things is that we are working is, doing all the work on the back end and attend the nodes independently. They are not going to be communicating through the back end. They are communicating with the blockchain. This is a typical D app. Actually, this is a D app that we are building too. And then building the part on changes of consuming or using or getting those WXOs into the wallet, but being notified in our wallet. That's a very important point. Remember, our wallet is for EXOS. However, you are changing EXO for WXOs. It's fair for us to know, or the users to know in their own wallet, when and what is the transaction ID on those WEXOs that you received in. But that is happening on our wallet. Our wallet is not going to manage at all WXOs. It's going to let the user know that they have received WXOs. That's two different things. I want to be very clear. All of those pieces, I hope to show them very soon demo, an internal demo, because we are very close to being at that position. Then it's just be ready. That's so far.
Thanks, Najib. Hi, folks. Good seeing everyone. So I think, as you all have heard, and I know some of you may be watching this live for the first time or potentially joining us for the first time, but just to kind of reiterate a little bit of what Kent was saying earlier. The big focus, of course, is bringing the EXOS token to market. So there's obviously a lot of conversation that happens during this call. It's kind of the whole point of the meeting, right? About the EXOS economy, the EXO economy. And Nikki's going to talk a lot more about sort of marketing efforts. Angelo, unfortunately, was not able to join us today. His updates posted to the chat. And so a lot of obviously tech work happening. Najib just talked about that. A lot of coordination with other resources as well. So looking forward to getting some updates, hitting some more major milestones, and kind of getting to where we need to be, I think, sooner rather than later. So definitely look for that. And again, just to reiterate what Kent was saying, everybody's participation is certainly welcomed and wanted and, quite frankly, needed. And it even goes beyond just the EXOS token, right? I mean, it's all about us sort of living and thriving together as a community. I'm sure Kevin will talk more about that as well in a moment. Beyond that, the OpenExO Core Treasury, again, continues to fund proposals in Sway, right? So any community members welcome anytime to go into our online tool called Sway and propose a project, a task, an effort, and get that funded with EXOS that will be spent within the community members. And the Treasury, of course, continues to fund different initiatives. There's obviously a lot of behind-the-scenes work that happens with following up with individuals and working with Najib and others and making sure everybody's set up on the data platform so that they can be a campaign manager. And once they get funded, they can distribute the EXOS. And again, since this is OpenExO, of course, everything is transparent, right? So you'll be able to see where the EXOS are moving.
Hey, Eric, maybe one minute on the Treasury's evolved its protocols quite a bit over the last weeks. I don't know that we can get into in depth here, but the question would be, where can people find out how the Treasury works, what the protocols are, and if you want to explain any of that now, that's fine, or make it an offline thing. But I think you've all done a very good job, and it's not a small amount of work. It looks like these days, from what I'm seeing flow through, might be worth a mention.
Yeah, thanks, Kent. And Kevin, I think, wrote a great doc, and I know there's a couple of links as well that we can share in the chat. And obviously, anybody can follow up with the currently serving members of the OpenExO Core Treasury, myself, Kevin Allen, Vanessa, Geraldo, Cesar's on the call as well. And for those of you that are interested in helping out with this, we are going to be rotating members, so we'd love to have new members in and kind of get you trained and up to speed and all that. So yeah, it is definitely a lot of work. The Treasury does meet regularly now on Thursdays to talk about all things Treasury, but we do continue to evolve our process. We feel like we're getting better. We now have, among other things, some good tracking in place so we can see exactly what's coming in, who's doing what, emails, addresses, all kinds of stuff, right? Because even after proposals do get funded, there's a little bit of tracking involved. tranches are now going out to different proposals that are funded. So for example, let's say you put in a proposal for 50,000 EXOS and you get awarded that because your proposal has been approved. You will no longer get all of it up front. You'll get a portion of that. And once you go through that, we're happy to kind of fund the rest, right? So that's kind of how we're working now. And there's now, Kevin, I was trying to remember, is it quarterly or monthly now? We're asking the proposals to share how they're spending, how things are going. And you'll see that both on Discord as well as at OpenExO.com, right? So there's accountability, there's accounting happening.
Yeah, and I would say that for everybody who's heard me say this before, our organization, our community, our ecosystem, really at all different levels is an emergent DAO. And it's always been like that. It's just finally becoming more apparent through processes like treasury management and support. And it's a really, really a lovely thing to see. And in particular, you'll notice that people are taking these EXOs and using them in the marketplace and asking to help progress their projects. And some of these projects are doing pretty astounding things. So please do watch the marketplace and the forums for the reports, the circles on the platform for these reports, because this is the work of your peers in the community, and it's awesome, right? So keep an eye on that. And so while treasury work is kind of step by step, and it can be quite detailed, the point is that it's enabling an entire community in a lot of ways to do incredibly transformative things. So I'm super happy to see all that, and I just thought it was worth spending a couple extra minutes, Eric, and really highlighting the work of the treasurers, right? They're doing a wonderful job. We don't run around and announce who treasurers are, but at the end of the day, the treasurers are doing a wonderful job, and they're even going to be rotating those positions over time. I don't think they've figured out the periodicity yet, but this is something to be in service to the community as a treasurer should be something valued. So please have a look when you see opportunities come for treasury service as well. So back to the order that I outlined.
Actually, Kent, so I have put in the chat a form that you can, if you're interested in serving as part of the Treasury, and it really is serving. So it's I'll just be honest, it's not a glamorous job. You don't get to have any power being on the Treasury. You just get to serve this amazing community. So
you don't have power, you empower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so if you're interested, you can fill out the details on that form. In July, we are looking to get people to join, to be observers, and then looking to switch out some of those observers to signing members, and perhaps some of the signing members that we currently have will take a break. Yeah, so if that's something that interests you, do check out the form.
That's great. Thank you. I think that was well worth the time spent. Overdue. Okay, who was next?
I believe it's me. So I am also proxying for Angelo and Vanessa, so I'll just be reading notes. Here we go with stats in the chat. Basically, we're still growing, but it's still slow. So we're looking for another win on engagement strategies. So we've been interviewing some people and actually posting some roles. Angela will be posting some more roles this week for the engagement task work. And that's also going to be associated with the EXOS Academy, which is also intelligence surrounding EXOS, WEXOS, emerging DAOs, and decentralized finance. So basically how we use this within our community, and then how we're going about turning ourselves into this emergent DAO. So that's content management that we're recruiting. And anybody that's got that kind of talent, we have various ways of paying. We can pay in, EXOS. We can eventually get all the different variety that Pratik was even talking about, perhaps. So looking forward to the future on that one. We'll be doing some more analysis on the 30 doubling challenge, because we 10x'd our engagement in certain areas. And so we want to keep that going. And so Angela will be working with Jill on building this app that can be done on a day-to-day basis, just through general use of the community and getting little milestones met on a day-to-day basis. And then we'll be working on more challenges and more content management that will give us the bigger blips like we did with the 30-day challenge. Let's see, Vanessa, stats, we have gone up in almost everything. But again, I think we have to figure out what we're measuring, which measurements matter. And I think we've decided that Telegram is a good conversational space for us to be in, to get questions answered about how to be in community and how to engage with each other. And then Discord is a really good help channel. It's got several channels that have content that you can look through. There's an FAQ document that you can search through. And there are a lot of people in community who are actually getting good at answering some of these questions. And that's a role that's very important. We will be posting this week, support people for different time zones so that we can have this going 24/7. I think that's about it. There's probably more, but I think that's good for today. Thanks. I don't know if it was Lisa or.
It's me.
Okay.
So the book is progressing. Mike Malone was in the cabin in the woods, so I have not been able to reach him. I'm hoping he'll be back so I can find a progress as to how he is doing with the book. And I'm working on the EXO Insights, got a few more articles up, and we're going to be going live soon, and I'll be reaching out to our list of contributing writers. I have a list of case studies that need to get fleshed out, get some more details, so maybe enlisting members of the community to help. And that's a big bulk of it. And still working on the course. That's the course, that's the update for the book.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And who was next? Kevin,
so I think it's me. So I've spoken a bit about the Treasury stuff. So that's done. And then I wanted to just make an announcement of the webinar that's happening tomorrow on which is titled "Preservation of Memories on Death," which is quite a controversial topic, but it's covering a technology that is out there and available, and we want to have these conversations on the edge, right, around technologies and how we transform the world for a better future, or transform the future for a better world, as Kent likes to sometimes say. So do join us and share with others in the community. We are trying to keep this more a community discussion. If you do have people that are perhaps outside the community, maybe this is a good opportunity to get them into the community. But it is mainly a community discussion. I'm just trying to find the link here. If you do go to the events page,
Eric posted it.
You did already. Thank you, Eric. I really appreciate it. So do register for that, and join us over there.
Can I add one thing about that, Kevin?
Yes.
I posted about this in the circles that you can see there, but I want everybody to really get this clear. We know of an exponential technology, or a potential exponential technology, and we want to talk about it. And we can't imagine anybody else in the world we'd rather talk about it with than this community. So let's do that. That's what this is about. So hopefully people, as Kevin's pointed out, this has turned out to be pretty controversial. However, at the same time, if you can't even talk about it, then how are you going to deal with it? So this is what we propose, and it's the first of something we probably believe will be a long series of such conversations. So get ready to have your feels poked at times, but the reality is that you must have the conversations if you wish to make progress. So be brave, and let's have a chat. All right, back to you.
And then the next updates I wanted to just give is with regards to EXO Health and Salbrea. So it was probably 2 months ago. It was, I think, part of the town halls. We announced that we really look to drive the use of EXOS for the purchase of Salbrea breast disease detection devices. I wanted to just announce that the conversations between OpenExO and Salbrea are happening a lot more regularly. Be on the lookout. We will have some communications to all the women in the community and men who have women in the that they would like to have women. That sounds terrible. Who know women or have family. Oh gosh. Who would be
I usually just say men who have women they care for and would like to provide a technology
exactly,
to improve
Nikki.
their health and wellness. Yes, that's what Kevin meant. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, just everybody do a Neanderthal grunt. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So be on the lookout for some communication that'll come in the next couple of weeks, which is really exciting. I know it's been slow, but slow and steady. So really excited about what's happening there. And then the last thing I wanted to just bring up as a comment is, we spoke about it right at the beginning of this call that the drive towards liquidity, etc. But I do think we need to take what we've said here and just do an announcement into the broader community. I mean, yes, there's a few people who watch this, but just so we can at least get it out to make sure that the broader community knows that things are moving forward, and it's not like they are nothing's happening. Like we got a whole bunch of people working here, and to make sure that the community, the OpenExO community, that isn't in Discord, which is 7,000 people, knows that things are moving.
You lost 1,000 people there, Kevin. It's 8,000 these days.
But 1,000 are in Discord. So
is that right? Oh, I got you. Okay, I didn't get the math there. Okay, but we don't know if those are community members necessarily, do we? But no, that's a very interesting.
True.
Okay,
so
awesome.
Kevin.
Any strange names in there, usernames that are not real names.
Pseudonyms. All right, over to Cesar. I think you're done, Kev.
Yeah, I just, before I go, I just want to ask Kevin, because you mentioned the Salbrea pad, and that's great news. So what's going on with the memories thing, also the future memories that was announced in Dubai, and that we have the call this week? Is still going, is progressing? I think that's another cool use cases that we should promote.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have the discussion tomorrow, and then after that discussion, hopefully have some more info.
Yeah, there are some really interesting opportunities around that, Cesar, depending on, I mean, the community has to be a part of this. It's not something that, one or two people decide. This is how does the community want to engage with these types of technologies moving forward? And I think that, I think there's some very interesting things we're going to talk about on that call, which I don't want to let the cat out of the bag here today. But I mean, I wouldn't miss it. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this one. I cleared my calendar off and put time after it as well, because I had a feeling this one might go over. So we'll see, But this for me is sort of one of those late night discussions I used to have at Singularity University back a few years ago, types of things where people were open and really willing to truly think about what if. Right? Like, what if that's true? What if when I pass away, my memories in my mind can be preserved completely and possibly reinstated somehow later? For me, that's like, wow, you really, like, is that a real thing now? You can actually do that. We don't know how to bring it back yet. and read it, but we might know how to store it. So interesting, right? So how could you not want to have that conversation? Like if you're at all curious about technology and exponential technologies, but it does touch on things like, you know, religion and a lot of very strong beliefs that people hold. So it's not going to be the easiest, but I think it's great. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, Cesar, it's moving forward quite well. It was, as Cesar pointed out, announced in Dubai when we were at AIBC in Dubai presenting on EXO Economy and some related topics as well. So really good. And I say it again, this is the community that needs to step up and have the hard conversations.
Yeah. Okay, very quickly from my side, a couple of updates. The first is the Rutanio community, our sister economy based in Medellin, but now all over Latin America. They are preparing their anniversary, which is on June 27, if I'm not wrong, the end of June. So they will be doing a lot of engagement activities. So on that matter, Nikki, if you have any learning that you say you keep getting more information and learnings from the challenge that the EXO run, everything you can share with the team or with me, and I will do the reach into the team. That will be welcome because they will be doing all this engagement in the coming weeks. I think they will be starting by the end of the month. But I will keep everybody informed. And Nikki, again, if you have any insights or anything, feel free to share. And then the second thing is Saline confirmed the participation for the DeFi event here in Miami, planned for August. And now the DAO Miami team is working in all the details. They are planning a hackathon to engage lots of DeFi developers, and the EXO Economy will be a key part of that. And they are also preparing, Ken, some ideas, first ideas on how they can become closer, even become a sister economy to the EXO Economy as well. But I asked them to prepare and to put in writing some of their ideas. So as soon as they have something, I will let you guys know. But yeah, that's going on. It's not the same as EXO Economy. It's not the same as Rutanio or Divergenti, but it's another form. In this case, Miami DAO, that could be another sister economy for us as well. And anyway, the members are well connected and they're interested in doing things together one way or the other.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we want a giant mesh of economies all helping each other. That's how we win. So that's the right thing. Thank you. All right, we've got 5 minutes left. Last call. Is anybody stuck, blocked, needs something, don't know what to do next, can imagine a better future that they want to share? Last call, Nikki.
I posted a link in the chat we need 2 more votes for our customer support roles to be filled. So for me to be able to afford the budget for everybody that we want to hire, I need those 2 more votes. So if somebody would go in there and place your vote, I would appreciate it. We're so close.
Don't you want our customer supported people? What in the world?
I know.
Get in there.
The main thing we need.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we know this is critical. So please, and this should show you something. Like Nikki and I desperately want these roles filled. They're not filled because you haven't voted. That's what it means to have a community that has a stake in voting. It hasn't moved forward because we don't have enough votes. Now, if you really believe we shouldn't have customer support people, okay, that's going to be a tough one to swallow. But
you're in the wrong community, basically.
But really, isn't this an amazing example, right, of what it means when you put things to the community? So yeah, let's. I think the things that tug on heartstrings a little more tend to get the votes really fast, and the things that are a little bit more day-to-day operational tend to be harder to push through. So if you're reviewing SWAY proposals, please, these are exciting too, just in a different way. So have a look. And that's a good one, Nikki, to bring up. Thank you for that. And by the way, as we continue to emerge as a DAO, a lot more things are going to need to be voted on. So now we're going to find interesting ways to incentivize that. And we'll have more to say about that in the coming weeks. But it's going to be really interesting indeed. I think there's some really powerful stuff coming for our community. So So that is, I think, a wrap for today.
Yeah, Ken,
Yes.
one small thing, since we have a couple of minutes here, and it's back to the liquidity event. I think one of the main actions are related to the PR actions. So who is bridging? Who can update us on what's going on the PR? Because that's, I think, super critical in this phase.
Well, we did a pilot push around PR for the EXO Economy just after AIBC, and if you go and you Google things like EXO Economy, OpenExO, you'll find there were somewhere in the neighborhood of 45 to 50 really pretty good PR placements, and 4 or 5 tier 1 is what they call them, and that was great. PR campaigns are quite expensive and to run and maintain. So right now we're looking at what we need for an overall budget, how to secure that budget, and I would say, how do we better involve the community, and what other forms of ways that we might spend money to generate the buzz we need exist. So that's kind of where that entire thing is right now. So that campaign ended about 3 weeks ago. And so we really need to get kind of on it to decide what we're going to do in the next few days. So yeah, that's where that is, Cesar. I thought the PR push on the pilot was pretty successful, but the reality is that PR is funny. What people will tell you is that it's like a flywheel. You have to build it up, build it up, build it up. But I can tell you that the energy that goes into that flywheel is straight up dollars, and that's tough sometimes.
I got it, and I agree with you. I think it was great, and I agree we need to be very lean. But the cadence in PR, at least from my experience, it is very important. So I'm glad to hear that you say it's something that we need to figure out in the next few days.
Yeah.
Because we need cadence. We need something every week, and we have a great community, and I'm sure there are some ways we can leverage that community to make it that less expensive. But we need to be out there every week.
Couldn't agree more. Absolutely. It's probably the most important thing to spend money on, actually, as we move forward. I go on record saying that for sure. But it's proven quite expensive. So as a small community with a relatively small PR budget, that I can tell you, we talked to lots and lots of firms who didn't want to do it because we didn't want to pay effectively tens of thousands of dollars a month at that point. So
but as you say, let's see how we can leverage our community, because this has to happen, and one way or the other one, and we may not go with the traditional way. We can create a new way, and we have a lot of community members. From Fluid Chain perspective, we are writing an article regarding the new capabilities to bridge into Ethereum. So once it's ready, we will share. You guys will be great for OpenExO to repurpose that in any way you guys want.
Awesome. Right,
but we need a plan. We need something every week, even if it's small, but the thing, even if it's only our web page, as we did in the past, to have a lot of cadence on this. That's very important.
Okay. I'll try to pull you in to the process as well if you'd like. Maybe there's ways that you can help us push as well.
Yeah, sure. Let me know.
Okay, great. Thanks, Cesar. Okay, I think that we're good for today. We're 1 minute over. I do try to end these on time. So thank you so much, everybody. Wonderful meeting. Pratik, again, welcome. And I will see you all very, very soon.